What's the longest you think you've ever kept your mouth closed in terms of not drinking, not eating, not talking?
Couple hours maybe.
No way.
No, that's
No
not
way.
true.
This is one of those things that once you start to think about it, you realize that you probably don't keep your mouth closed for more than 5 minutes at a time.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'll probably say 10 minutes all around. I feel like that might even be stretching it. I don't know if it's five. I don't know. So I'm somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, if that makes any sense.
I wouldn't be shocked if somebody followed me around with the timer and I didn't keep my mouth closed for more than a minute the whole day.
Which says a lot. Man, that's if you think about it, that's a lot of
Right.
wear and tear on your mouth too.
That's a
Like,
lot of jawing, right? Like
that's a
you're
lot.
really going through, like your mouth is never closed.
You just won't shut the fuck up.
You just will not stop having stuff coming in or there is just an endless stream of stuff going in or coming out of your mouth.
I
Yeah,
don't,
dude.
that's fine. I'm trying. I mean, even when I sleep, I think I sleep with my mouth open. So I don't even think to an extent that I close my mouth while I'm sleeping.
Oh yeah, dude, your mouth is just open, going nonstop. Your heart and your mouth just nonstop, all the
Well,
time.
my heart works like 3 or 4 times what it should. So.
Oh yeah, dude, you got to start you've reached the age where you got to start heading off some of these medical concerns because you're going down the road. Like the doctors, if a doctor sees you walking down the road, he's like, "Wow, there's my meal ticket right there." Like he's gonna be in here for arthritis, gout, diabetes, heart issues. Like you are just a dollar sign walking down the road to them right now.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about the gout though, but everything else you said is probably accurate.
You'll get it. I have a friend who got gout. Like I didn't know that they had gotten that since the 13th century, but he managed to do it.
No,
So good,
no.
good for him.
Gout's pretty serious. It can screw you up for a while.
Oh yeah,
Um,
he's got lots of problems.
This is really weird to say, but I was actually thinking about this morning, and it kind of goes along with what you were asking me. Is that when you think about what we eat in a given day, it's kind of incredible, like just the process of swallowing in general.
Oh yeah, dude. Like if you think about anything that your body does, it's incredible.
Wow, I feel like I should give myself a pat in the back.
Can you reach back there? Let me ask you this. Do you wash your back in the shower? Like, do you put soap on your back?
No, I do not.
So it could potentially be years since your back has been cleaned with soap.
Um, I'd say probably 1 out of every 5 times. I have like a loofah. I have like a
Is it
a
on a
loofah
stick?
stick.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's on
that
a stick?
that I rub it back there. Yeah, I mean, I can reach, up to about my shoulder blades, and then I can't go any further, like with my arms. So
Oh, I've started soaping up the back. I realized the other day that I probably haven't washed my back in years. Like I should do that.
this is gonna sound disgusting, but hey, why not? I remember the first time I ever loofah'd, and just all the shit that came out of my pores, all the dirt and just build up skin and all that stuff, like dried soap. It was pretty gnarly. I'll never forget it.
Wow. You're that
So
dirty of a person.
I don't know about that. I just
What?
think I sweat. I think I sweat a lot, so my pores, aren't open all the time. They get clogged. So like I have to loofah to open them back up. All right, Michael Lodato, Richard Meeson, Jay Crandall, Peshwa Nazar, Julian Russell, Sam Gandar, Alessandro Drovinella. That one took me a minute to make sure that I didn't screw up. Joshua Hatfield, Paulo Costa, Mayak Kamar, Anana Agrawal, Marcus Hill, Graham Lau, Vern Weisensell, or I don't know. He's been a long time listener of the show.
Yeah, so way to mess up his name. Nice job.
How do you? I don't. Weisensell?
Big Burn. Just call him Big Burn.
Big Burn. I don't think he's
Don't try to
Big Burn.
pronounce people's last names.
Jordan Lardon, and Jesus Montezuma.
Oh, that's a good name. I came up for an alias for my wife this weekend.
Ooh,
let me know what you think. Daiquiri Tanqueray.
I mean, you're mixing a liquor and a alcoholic drink, so I would presume it has to do with that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's pretty good. Now, her mother's name is legally Margarita, so I thought her name could be Daiquiri Tanqueray.
Does her mom actually like margaritas?
No. You can't. Do you like John's? Do you like going to the John? Do you look at a toilet and are like, hey, fellow John?
I mean, depends how sober I am. Hey, John, you in there? You down there? There you are. Why aren't you moving?
How did John's feel about the toilet being named John?
How did it become John? That's what I want to know. Why couldn't it be Brian or Tom or Matt? Why did it have to be John?
Seems really common as my only assumption.
All right. Let's see. What do we... I'm just thinking about, like, what if it was called, like, the Gonad or the something just crazy, the Dwayne. Hey, I'm going to use the Dwayne. It just doesn't have the same thing, right? Doesn't have the same
thing. The John is the best way to refer to the toilet. It's the best name for the toilet. It couldn't be the Steve. It couldn't be the Bob. It's the John.
Just the John. All right. What do I have here? I guess we'll start with this one. Jay-Z. Apparently, he's getting thrown into the, and I think he's been kind of named, but apparently there's been official allegations now filed, accusing him of sexually assaulting 13-year-old. So, not talking about that specifically, but is this it? Is this like the downfall of everyone you and I grew up, like, I don't want to say idolizing, but like, was everybody that we grew up liking, listening to, watching on TV, are they just all shitheads? Is that what's going to come out in the next year and a half?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we're just finding out. I think that we're finding out what people have always kind of known is that you don't get to the top of a position by being a nice person or being really even, it seems like, a good person. Like, you just don't get those places without having a certain amount of cutthroatness, I think that you don't get to those kind of places without being willing to step on other people.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think it's cutthroat. I think, I think you can be a diligent, business-driven person and not sexually assault kids. Now, he hasn't been convicted or anything yet, so I don't want to throw that out there, but I have this weird feeling that everybody between the age of 28 and 42 are about to find out that people that we looked up to as children are going to probably not be very good people. So
right,
that sucks,
like,
man.
People at the top aren't generally nice people or good people.
Yeah, it just sucks. What do you think, or what are your opinions on Dick Van Dyke?
I don't even know who it is. It's a name that I have always heard, Dick Van Dyke, but I don't know who Dick Van Dyke actually is. If you did a lineup with a bunch of people who are older than me, and I'm assuming he's in like his 70s, 80s, or 90s, and said which one of these is Dick Van Dyke, I wouldn't know the difference.
I mean, listen, I appreciate your honesty. I mean, I don't know how you...
Great name. One of the all-time celebrity names, I would say that.
I just don't know how you don't at least even know his face. He's 99, and he was just in a music video where he dances, and he says the key to him being that old is he danced every day. But now it doesn't matter because you don't even know who he is. So
I don't think he danced every day at 99 years old. I mean, he may have danced mentally, but like, I'm in my early 40s, and I'm like, I'm not dancing every day. So I understand the sentiments. Good luck to him.
All right, let's go back to the summer. Do you remember the Australian breakdancer Ray Gun?
Yeah.
Well, apparently a company in Australia wanted to create a musical of her, and she shut that shit down apparently before it even got on paper. And I understand it because I think she kind of gets that she's become more of a laughing point than a serious competitor now. But imagine the money you would have made. I mean, I don't get it. just suck. Do you suck up your pride there, or do you take a firm stand like she did?
I mean, it's not like your reputation is going to get any worse. It's not like people are going to see the musical and be like, "Oh wow, I thought that she was such a great dancer before." No, man, play the hand that you were dealt. And if you can bluff the whole way, bluff the whole way. Like, take the money.
I'm going to do a little self-admittance here to you, and I don't want you to get too excited. However, I think I'm starting to kind of get with you about baseball and
how boring it is and awful.
Over the weekend, this past weekend, there was a contract that was signed between one of the top 5 players in baseball for, I forget the exact terms, but it was 15 years, like $750 million. Whoa. That's insane money. And baseball players, and this is where I kind of agree with you because you've kind of said this before, out of all the sports in the world, I'm not sure baseball players, like the contracts are outrageous. There is no baseball player that should be making $300 million in a contract, let alone triple that, almost triple that. It's insane to me.
It's insane to me, and it seems ridiculous, but then I think that you always have to remember that, okay, that's a ridiculous amount of money for somebody to be getting, but if they're getting that, how much is the person who's paying them making off of them? Because they're saying, all right, we're going to pay you $750 million, so what are we making off of you? $1 billion? $1.5 billion? So there's where I'm like, man, they really don't deserve that, but it's not like take what you can get, right? Like the other person's just going to make that money off of you, so at least give it to the person who's doing the work.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Juan Soto is his name, and good for him, man. Get what the market says you're worth, but man, I don't know how baseball sustains itself. I don't know where they're getting the money to pay people like this.
Oh, that's what's crazy to me that they make that amount of money. I didn't realize how they may make that amount of money off it.
Yeah. Let's see the last thing here. TikTok apparently it's all but going to be banned come the new year in the United States. I don't really care. I kind of wish they would ban most social media, if not all of it. I feel like we all would be better off, but that's my old man rant for now.
My problem with it is kind of the hypocrisy related to things. Like, okay, if we're going to say this, then what are we also not saying? And you seem to be picking on the things that the kids of today, so to speak, use to spread information, right? So, like, how much, like, oh, TikTok's so bad. Yeah, but how much of that is because Facebook and Instagram and YouTube are lobbying the crap out of you, right? Like, okay. Sure. Like, no, it goes back to the idea that it's never, to me, about what somebody is doing. It's always about who's doing it. The U.S. government and American companies can collect our information left and right in every single detail about us, but as soon as somebody else does it, somehow now that's a problem, right? Like, so American companies can get it and sell it to whoever, but if another company does it, it's a problem. Like, it's just all kind of fake to me. I don't care about the social media aspect about it. I just care about the idea that, like, okay, they're doing it, it's a problem, but this other company doing the exact same thing somehow isn't a problem. The hypocrisy is what gets me.
Hold everyone at the same standard, and maybe things would be a little better off.
Yeah, just like keep it all the same. Keep it all the same, as opposed to jumping back and forth and back and, those kind of things.
Yeah. Well, and last thing, because I am the candle connoisseur.
Oh, here we go.
This is my, and I think it should be said, but I felt like I had to say this. Get out there, because I've been to a couple of stores the past few days, and there are fantastic deals on good quality candles. Now, this is online. This is at the big box stores. Now is the time to get some good deals on some good candles if you're looking for them.
Any particular recommendations besides the candle of the month? Where did you see the best sales? Give the people some information.
The best sale that I took part of that I would recommend is over at Michael's. If you have a Michael's near you, the craft store. I forget the exact price, but I think it was like 3 for $9, and they were like good, probably 16 to 25 ounce candles, 3 wicks. Winter scents. 3 for $9 is a good deal. And Bath and Body Works have I think they had like a buy one get one that'll come back around. Just if you want some good deals on candles, now is the time to do it.
Oh, who doesn't want a good deal on candles? You want to talk about the United Healthcare CEO? You want to skip that?
Well, I mean, we can discuss it if you really want to.
I don't really want to get into the politics of it. What I'm fascinated by is how the media elites, so to speak, or the elites of the country seem to be so shocked that people weren't sad about this.
I mean, I don't know how we're going to straddle the line here, but
there's no way to.
In my opinion, that's the disconnect between the upper 1%, the people who own these companies, run these companies, and we're the ones who have to deal with the repercussions of their decisions when they don't even obviously have a grasp of what we deal with as middle America. Obviously, it's sad that he was shot and killed. He had a family, all that stuff. It's terrible. It's tragic. But I mean, for another billionaire to sit there and publicly come out and say, "Man, I thought there'd be more of a of a care that somebody was just assassinated on a New York street." I mean, that just shows the disconnect. I mean, he represented a company of 28% of all healthcare in this country. I mean,
yeah, and
I'm not saying nothing bad should have happened to him, but I mean, for multiple people at that level to think that people were just going to be empathetic, I mean, that just shows the disconnect to me.
Totally out of touch. Like, totally out of touch. The stuff that I've seen from the national media stuff where, like, I can't believe that people aren't upset about this. Well, then you've never actually talked to real people. Like, I don't think that people were like, yeah.
I mean, it's once again, I guess because we're going down this road, it's CNN of all networks was in Syria showing the fall of the Assad regime, and people, like, there was no reaction. They were like formulating reactions. Like, people are very hyper local, right? Like, they care about themselves per se, not necessarily other things. And I feel like that's directly like the 1%. It's just for us, like, the 1% is the one that makes the decisions. Like, right. I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to think that something tragic like this would have reverberations, like maybe something would change, maybe some eyes will be opened, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen.
I don't want this to sound like it's tied too directly to what happened with the CEO, but I do feel like 2025 is the year of F around and find out.
It's scary, and it's for all of you that maybe are listening to this, and I'm sure this has gotten out there by now by the time this comes out. So I think they caught the guy that did this, and it sounds like this guy is just going to end up being like a disgruntled person who literally profiled the CEO and assassinated him. It wasn't a hit. Remember when it first came out, people were like, "Oh, this is some kind of mafia hit or something."
Yeah. It was just one guy, they think.
Now, I could be wrong, so I want to preface this with saying I could be wrong. But it sounds like it's just some guy whose uncle died of cancer, and he was upset with the healthcare system. So he, it's insane.
It's going to be interesting to see, like, the ultimate fallout in the sense that, like, okay, this guy's going to get a lot of attention, and there's going to be a media trial, and all of the situations involving him are going to come out. So, sure. Like, all of this is going to keep going. But before we get ourselves in trouble, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to move on?
The only thing I want to add one thing, because this is one thing I don't understand about the whole situation, and I think it's a good question to be asked, is that if you are that CEO of the largest healthcare company in America, or with the highest numbers, and you have security assigned to you, why would you take that chance? Why would you walk alone, especially in the streets of New York City? Obviously, it doesn't matter now because of what happened, but that's like a question that I've always asked. Like, that's what security is there for.
Because I think that those kind of people, and we're casting massive aspersions, right? And what do I really know about these people's lives? But I think that people like that have no clue how the rest of society sees them. Sure. I think that they're surrounded by the people who only tell them good job. They're surrounded by the people who only kiss their butt and don't really know or care how other people that they may view as being less than them feel about them. Like, what are these poor people gonna do? Well,
Yeah, I mean, oops.
are you getting a phone call right now?
No, I was not getting a phone call.
What are you doing then? What are you doing?
I was just opening up our YouTube to see.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
things.
thanks for paying attention.
I was paying attention, but I was friggin' ads, man. Ruined it for me.
Oh, sorry about that. Buttercup. I like to call people Buttercup now. Okay. Are you ready for our top 5?
I am. I also want to know when my face is getting increasingly redder as this episode goes on.
Probably some massive health concern that you'll get denied for.
Wow. Anyways, let's just move on.
So our top 5 is top 5 our top 5 is top 5 Christmas decorations. The decorations themselves. What's your number 5?
It's a classic, and but I didn't want to put it on there, but I just feel like it has to be on there, and that is the stocking.
Okay. I think that's a little high for a stocking. I think stocking should be lower on the list, but it definitely needs to be included. My number 5 is inflatables. The only reason I don't have inflatables higher is because they can be hit or miss. But if you hit, I love a good inflatable, man. Big snowman, big Santa, reindeer, inflatables are great.
It's definitely, I'll get back to him. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Do you want to just come into the camera? Do you feel like
I'm
you
trying.
Just come into it?
I'm out of focus. There we go.
Yeah. It's better with it out of focus. Too close to the best? Too brutal? Sorry.
My number 4 is a Christmas village.
Okay. I'm all right with that. I'm not going to put it higher than a stocking. That's ridiculous.
Christmas villages are fun because, you can make them your own. And how many times have you walked into a house where there's been a Christmas village and you stop? You just want to see what's in it, right? Like, you always stop. You never just walk past it.
Never in my mind have I ever been like, I really want to see this Christmas village. The only reason that I'm going to look at somebody's Christmas village is if I've ran out of people to talk to at wherever I'm at and need to pretend like I'm doing something else and not just standing there awkwardly.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm in the 1% of people that like looking at Christmas villages. I don't know.
I guess so. My number 4 is a Santa hat. Santa hat, just a little simple Santa hat. You know what? I'm going to wear a Santa hat to work today.
Okay. All right. I don't know if that's a decoration. That's more of like a clothing item, but okay.
It's a decoration for the body.
Or a piece of clothing. Whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
My number 3, I went with the things that I hate to admit I kind of like, and those are inflatables.
Yeah. You like inflatables.
And for those of you who haven't listened to this podcast the last 6 years,
tell us.
My father-in-law comes up here to Michigan where I live. He lives in Florida, and he proceeds to put up, he probably put up between 12 and 25 inflatables in my yard, and the reason that I don't have a direct number is because some of them are duplicates, some of them are so big that they look like they could be multiples. I don't really know. But then he leaves, and then I have to take them out when it's, the ground is frozen solid, and it's 6 degrees in February. So I detest them. I guess I appreciate him, but I detest inflatables. But once again, they have to be on the list.
Can you please share a picture of what your house looks like with all these inflatables out front? Does any of your neighbors have inflatables, or do you look like the lone crazy person in the neighborhood? Like there's all these blank houses, and then there's this dude.
Well, it's kind of weird. So I live in a cul-de-sac, actually, and every house has lights.
Good.
And now every house has at least one inflatable, except for the new neighbors that moved in this past summer. And I think that's because they don't know yet.
They'll find out.
I can see Bonnie and, Brian over there looking at my house every night going, we need to get at least one inflatable because we look out of touch.
I chastised the wife. Didn't have she got new Christmas lights, but didn't get a new inflatable. Didn't get anything for the front yard. I was a little upset about that. I'm slowly becoming Clark Griswold.
I can mail you many. Do you want me to mail you some?
No. I don't want your crappy secondhand inflatables. I want my new inflatables.
Come on, I can give you the Hulk. I can give you the Minions. I got fucking Blue's Clues out there.
You have the Hulk as an inflatable Christmas decoration?
Yeah, I don't know. He has like a Christmas present in one hand, and he's like has a Santa hat on. I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Some people just like to buy crap. Like, I got these $5, man. I'm going to spend it no matter what I do. People like to buy crap. Okay, what number are we on?
I think it's your number 3.
Stockings.
Okay. All right. I'm guessing our top 2 are the same thing.
Yeah,
maybe intertwined.
They have to be, but it's going to be really big which one that you decide is the second and which one you decide is the first. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 are Christmas lights.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
So my number 2 is Christmas lights also, which makes number 1
the Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. What was your justification for putting Christmas tree ahead of Christmas lights?
Oh, lights are like inflatables to me. I detest them. I detest putting them up. I detest taking them down. They look kind of cool. Like we have this big pine tree in my front yard, so we like do it up for the neighborhood. Like that looks kind of cool, but once again, I don't want to have to take them down in February or the end of January. Like I just don't want to do it. It looks kind of cool when there's snow on the ground, and the colors reflect off the snow and the ice, but other than that, it's a lot of work for very little payoff.
Can you also send me that video of you falling on the ice? I love it. You had shorts on. That's such a
Yeah.
We went to do.
it was 45 degrees this past Sunday. I was out.
Oh my God.
Ding. Doing errands in
I'm gonna start going ding every time you bring up the weather. You are turning into an old man who brings up the weather all the time.
That's fair.
You know you want to talk about it right now. How much do you like? Tell me what the weather is right now. Do you know the exact degree that it is outside right now?
No, 42.
See, I don't know what degree it is here in Seattle right now. I don't.
I mean, this is a bigger issue, Nick, okay? And now I'm going to go on a 30-second rant because we watch this movie on Netflix, some Christmas movie, and these parents get stranded because of a snowstorm. Mm-hmm. And their kids basically, Santa can't come the night of Christmas because all the parents aren't home to deliver gifts, right? Or put out gifts.
What's the name of the movie?
I guess I can look it up. Hold on.
Is it new on Netflix?
Yeah.
I think I was watching that same movie, but to be honest with you, I was pretty high while I was doing it. So I didn't know exactly what was. I completely forgot that I even watched it. I watched it with my son yesterday. I don't remember at all.
That Christmas is what it's called.
Oh,
it's actually,
yeah.
Anyways, it's so, but like none of them checked the weather before they left their children on Christmas Eve to know there was a snowstorm coming. I mean, come on, man.
Irresponsible parenting. Every day should start and end with checking the weather. You should check the weather on an hourly basis. Is that how you feel?
I have alerts. I have Google in the morning. First thing I get in the morning is Google going, "Good morning, John. It is 4:30 in the morning. The weather's going to be so-and-so with a chance of blah, 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 blah." Wait,
do you wake up to that? Is that your alarm? Usually. But then aren't you sleeping through half of the alert?
No, man. I'm awake.
I have never really understood how you can be woken up by a sound and consciously hear the sound. Like, weren't you asleep? Like, how did you hear the sound asleep and then be woken up for it? Does this make any sense what I'm talking about? Like, you remember hearing the sound, but you were asleep. So how did you hear the sound? I mean, I know how you did it, but you, like, consciously. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, you have anything on your honorable mention?
Wreaths? I don't mind a good wreath. I'm okay with a Christmas village, I guess. It's all right. I don't mind candy canes, like good candy canes. Luminaries are I'm a big fan of luminaries.
Luminaries are nice. Obviously, my number one would have been Christmas candles. However, I had to be realistic.
Did we ever give a reason? I just interrupted you, but that's okay.
For sure. Yeah, that's fine.
I did interrupt. Yeah, I'm becoming an interrupter.
Yeah. You're becoming an old grouchy interrupter, and I'm like, see? And I just want to talk about the effing weather.
We never gave that. Well, at least I didn't give a justification for why I think Christmas tree belongs along Christmas before Christmas lights. I like Christmas lights better, but I think the tree is what ultimately symbolizes Christmas more than any other decoration.
Okay. I mean, to me, it's more about the aesthetics. Like Christmas tree, you put in the work and it just looks good because like the whole family did it. And it's kind of representative of your life and your family.
Oh, well said. You've been spitting this whole episode. You didn't stutter during the shout-outs. You made sense with the healthcare thing.
It's because I'm sober, because we're recording it a couple hours earlier than we normally do.
Oh, good. What's the weather report for tomorrow? Wait, don't look at your phone. Don't look at your phone.
Yep, I'm not.
Let me see if you can tell me. I'm going to check really quick here. I'm going to search Detroit, or actually, sorry, Madison Heights. John does not live in Detroit, although he claims to live in Detroit, but he is a poser and a fraud. High temperature for Madison Heights tomorrow. What is it? Don't look. You're looking.
I'm not. I was going to say something on the microphone. You ruined it.
You can say something in the microphone. You don't have to get right next to it. You don't have to go like this. It can hear you from here.
So it's high temperature tomorrow. It's going to be it's supposed to be cooler than it was today. So I'm going to go 42.
You got the cooler than it was today correct, but it's going to be 46 on Tuesday. Incorrect. Okay. Close, but ultimately not a meteorologist. So I'm going to end this whole thing here now.
It's going to be dry.